Yeah, we've got a topic about the. This is something I got. So this is what when Kingfish and I do a show together, I just go to his website and be like, all right, let me come up with a topic here because he's usually done a lot of research on things. And this is about the new.
07.
She was a circuit judge in North Mississippi, if I remember when I was younger. Yeah, so she's a conservative judge, and she struck down the maps based on a violation of what's called the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And so that is essentially saying that there isn't, that minority votes are getting.
Well, first of all, give the current racial makeup of the court.
I don't. What is the current? Is there one?
I think it's 1 black, 8 whites.
That's
if I'm
what I
not
thought.
mistaken.
Leslie King is the only black judge. There's only been 4 black justices.
4 total
since 1987.
And she pointed out that they've all been appointed first because it's easier to get reelected than get elected. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Because all of them have been appointed by some governor at some point. And who was the first? Fred Banks, the first one? Reuben Anderson. Okay. So you have 4 African-American judges in the history of the Mississippi Supreme Court. Is that right?
History.
And that was Reuben Anderson, who's an infamous attorney around here, very good lawyer, as well as Fred Banks.
I wouldn't call him infamous. I mean,
he's pretty around the legal community. He says. I
would say esteemed.
I think in the legal community, everybody knows who Reuben Anderson is. If you're a lawyer, if you're a lawyer,
they do.
And same with Fred Banks.
He's very polished.
He is very
No, Chief Justice Stan Lee. He used to. You know what he used to call Fred?
What?
Seriously, a workhorse. Seriously.
Yeah.
And he meant, and he said that's in a good way. He just wanted to roll up his sleeves and get to work.
I mean, that's what I've heard about him too. And I saw some documentary.
And that's back when they didn't have a court of appeals.
Because they did not have the court of appeals till about 1995.
No, you were having to wait like 3 years to get decisions back then.
It was like, I think it was in the 90s they started.
Yeah, mid 90s, like 95 or so, 94.
And I wonder how many. I know they have 1 black justice on the Court of Appeals, but
I don't know.
Latrice
Westbrook.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's ever been any other. I think Leslie King was on the Court of Appeals first. He was. Yes. And he's the only current African American member. So it's been Reuben Anderson, Fred Banks, James Graves.
Yep.
And then now Leslie King over the course of its history. And
Graves would scare me if I was on trial before him.
Yeah. Talk about another good judge. He was a Hinds County.
I'd hate to go before him for sentencing.
Yeah, I mean, he was a a good friend of ours.
Just that voice.
Well, one of our mutual friends.
There's 2 judges who had voices you didn't want to hear as a defendant. One of them was him. The other one was Chapman in Madison County. Yeah. I mean, Chapman had that big, deep, booming voice, and the minute he starts talking, you're like going, "Uh-oh, here it comes."
Yeah, I mean, that's I do remember those days when I'm practicing in front of him. The Rankin County has always had those kinds of judges that you were scared of. It's just because the sentences were always.
And he knew his stuff too.
Yeah, Judge Chapman was a good judge. Our mutual friend of ours, Kurt Crowley, actually clerked for Judge Graves, and that's how I met him several times.
He clerked for him?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Yeah, he clerked for him. And,
wow.
Graves was, he always just sung Graves's praises for years and years.
He was a good judge.
Yeah, and so that's the issue that we've only had 4 African American justices of the Mississippi Supreme Court in the history of the court, and Sharon Edcock, the federal judge, has said that the way that we draw those districts, which are 3 separate districts, is that right?
3.
Is not, I guess it's unconstitutional based on the Voting Rights Act of
that. And she said that they had not been changed since 1987, so it didn't reflect population changes. Now, my understanding is the Central Mississippi District which is where the black ones have been elected from. It's slightly majority black, even though that Branning and Griffiths are from that district, but it's slightly majority black. But it's competitive though.
Yeah, I think because you saw. So you're talking about the one that Justice Branning just got elected.
Replace Kitchens.
That's part of the Central District.
Correct.
And you got to think about it. Kitchens, I think. He had a strong connection with the black community also, which is kind of weird because he represented Byron Della Beckwith, if you think about it. But
but he could also play that I was a DA card and go for the law and order crowd too a little bit.
No, I worked for an African American DA in Yazoo County, and he came and spoke when he ran in 2016, and it was a black church lady group with hats and everything, and he just wowed the crowd. He was good that way. He was really good at doing that. But that was between him and Branning was a very close election. This time, I think the only reason Kitchens may have lost was his age. He was so old at this point that I think that turned.
It wasn't. Because he had one pack that raised a bunch of money for him. So
he did.
It wasn't like he didn't have any money to spend either. And a lot of people were getting tired of Kitchens.
Yeah, I think. Well, from the prosecutor perspective, the issues that I had with him were that he came in when he ran against Jim Smith back in 2008.
All right, you're getting in the weeds. Let's get back to the decision.
I'll do it simply. He overturned all our criminal cases. Like he would do that. He'd vote.
That's what I mean.
That's what got us mad.
Prosecutors don't like him.
No, and now as a criminal defense lawyer, though, I wish he was back.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
and she turned out better than you thought she would.
Yeah, she's a good judge. She's a smart lady, though. I interviewed her on that Lindsay's other podcast. She's a very smart lady, very nice lady. I think she'll do a good job. So, and I think it was just past Kitchen's time, to be honest with you. He's like almost 90 years old or something. It's he was Joe Biden level old there.
And I mean, the thing is, all you're doing is he's probably not finishing that term. You're just giving a Republican governor a chance to appoint someone.
Because people don't realize it's 8-year terms on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's 8-year terms.
So you've got 8-year terms where, I think he was 83-ish, something, 82, 83. So, it's just a little crazy. But anyway, all right, we'll explain to everybody. So what now that they've said that the maps violate the Voting Rights Acts of 1965, what do we do now? What does the judge tell us we got to do now?
Well, she said the current justices, unlike they don't do this with legislature, but they're going to let the justices serve out their terms. Okay. But she said all future elections, she's given the legislature a chance. It's inherently a legislative function. So she's given the knuckleheads at the Capitol the chance to draw better maps. And of course, there'll be court fights over that, I'm sure. No matter what they come up with, I'm sure the NAACP and ACLU will be in court no matter what.
Yeah.
So we'll have the Supreme Court deciding it, states or federal judge deciding it, probably. Yeah, be federal. So that's where we stand right now.
Yeah, I was thinking about something too earlier when I was looking at this topic. So why is it the courts actually ruled just a few years ago that our congressional districts were okay? The 4 congressional districts we have, which have 3 white male congressmen and 1 black congressman, being Benny Thompson. And when I read about that, the difference between that was that didn't dilute the black vote in the same way as these districts do. And the second reason, I think Judge Aycock mentioned,
congressional, you have like Benny, he's got part of Jackson, a good part of Jackson, plus you've got the Delta, Natchez, that area, which is predominantly black.
When the plaintiffs in that case wanted to create like 2 black districts, but what the courts had said in that case was that would have created a crazy gerrymandered map.
Like what Cleo Fields had in Louisiana. He had one that went it was a Z, went across literally the top border of Louisiana. Yeah, then when it got over to Vicksburg or Delta, which I'm very familiar with, it would cut, then it would zag all the way back to the other end of the state.
Yeah.
Down, way down, and it would zag like a Z would zag back to the right. It's just and the court said no.
That's kind of what the reason was, the difference. And there's 4 districts in the congressional races, and there's only
we 3. Used to have 5. Yeah.
Now, are the Court of Appeals districts the same as the Supreme Court? I assume they are.
So. I think so.
So now we're dealing where we're going to go into a fight over what these maps are going to look like. It's
going to be a nasty fight.
And I think a lot of times I see Kingfish, the public thinks like, well, isn't it? What does it matter what race the judge is? And I guess essentially it doesn't necessarily. But what the Voting Rights Act is trying to do is to prevent dilution of minority votes.
Correct.
And that's what Judge Aycock's saying. You can't.
But I'm going to play a little devil's advocate to Judge Aycock, okay? Because she's saying, well, I think there's 2 things I want to point out. One is the MDOT and Public Service Commission lines are drawn on the same districts, okay? And I've had some readers point that out. And those weren't challenged, but you know why? Because guess who sits in those jobs right now?
Heather Stamps is one.
And
who else?
Willie Simmons.
Okay, Willie Simmons.
Okay, and they're both black.
Yeah.
And they're probably getting reelected.
Is that in different districts?
No, Central.
They're both in Central.
It's MDOT, and one's MDOT, one's PSC. Okay, so they're black and they've gotten elected. Okay, so obviously, and I've told you before, it's a slightly majority black district. So, and those were fairly good candidates. So one was a state representative. They were both in legislature. They were known. Then the other thing too is, why are you not getting more black judges elected? Well, I'll tell you one reason why, because let's go back to those judges you mentioned first, the first 4 black ones. Reuben Anderson was a damn good candidate. Let's be honest. He was very well. He's got a reputation in the legal community. He's well thought of.
Sure.
He's definitely competent. Fred Banks, same thing. I've read his stuff. That guy's smart. He's genuinely smart. But he also had a heck of a reputation as a lawyer. And James Graves, well, his name speaks for itself. So my point is, you're running guys, even if they're appointed first, who are.
And we're back on the Lindsay Beckham Show with Kingfish and myself, Sean Yurtkuran of the Yurtkuran Law Firm. If you need any legal help and you've drank too much and drove this weekend or next weekend, you can reach me at onetextlaw.com. I'll be glad to help you out with any criminal or personal injury issues you do have. But we are actually, speaking of law, we're talking about that right now with Kingfish about the Mississippi Supreme Court maps that were were overturned by Judge Aycock, federal judge, just last week. Kingfish. So I was looking.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap. This is what he does when we're on the air, y'all. He like tries to force through the end. So we're gonna.
I'm just sitting and think. Well, okay, how long will the audience be interested in this? Okay, that's all.
The last few questions I got here for you too. So we were discussing about how they're going to remake these maps because the judges said
they'll probably have to go up into the Delta.
Yeah, because you can't dilute the black vote.
And
that's the whole point of it.
And this brings up another interesting. And I think the Supreme Court's going to deal with this, which is there's been a long-held rule that you can't, when you redistrict, you can't lower the black population in an area.
Yeah,
especially in. Unfortunately, here's what happens. It encourages y'all bitch about the polarization in politics. Well, redistricting is a large part of it,
right?
Because under the courts right now, it's better for you to draw these supermajority districts where there's supermajority white, supermajority black. Guarantee you, Benny Thompson loves his district.
Oh, I'm sure
he ain't worried about getting another black congressman elected.
No. Yeah, that's.
You think he's gonna give up any seats to another district to help that? No.
No.
So what happens is, I mean, you get these extreme guys, both sides have them, on each side of the aisle,
because there's no close districts
and there's no, but if you see, my contention is if you would bring, say, districts in Congress 2 and 3 down to say 55% white, 55% black. Now, Michael Guest can't ignore the black voters in his district when it's that. Benny Thompson can't really ignore the white voters either, because you could get maybe not a white guy, but a Mike Espy type who could run against him and get the white vote and to get some black vote. And all of a sudden you got a real race there. So I think that goes more towards solving some of these racial problems. This stuff actually,
and maybe our polarization
it encourages polarization. The Wall Street Journal, I'm not the only conservative. Yes, Lindsay, I'm conservative. the conservatives, I'm not the only conservative thinking this way. Like Wall Street Journal has pushed this for years, saying you're encouraging this stuff.
I completely agree with you. I think that's been a really big problem with our politics. I think the Texas redistricting actually, in a funny way, may help that in a good way. What I mean is,
let's be honest, the Democrats, they've been doing their own.
Oh yeah, that's
No, they've been waving their baseball bats for years. Just the Republicans finally put out their own baseball bats.
Well, the Democrats have actually been worse about it. If you look through the examples. No, that's true.
We were talking Cleo Fields, but go look at Illinois.
It was
New York had theirs thrown out a couple of years ago. Remember?
Sure.
They had theirs thrown out.
So when the Democrats, and of course I am one, are sitting there with all this weigh and cry, I'm like, wait a second, guys, you guys did this too.
That's what Bill Maher was saying Friday night. He's like, okay, guys, this is kind of,
but you've done it too. But I think the Texas map may actually make the districts closer. Like you're going to have closer districts.
That was Eric Erickson's. That was Eric Erickson's fear, was like, okay, you're taking some of these super districts and moving them down. If you have a little bit of a demographic shift, you're going to have a Democrat district. Y'all better be careful what you're doing here.
That's exactly right.
But I will say this: in 5 years, they'll be redistricting again.
Yeah.
So if there's a problem,
they can fix it.
And I doubt it's going to change that much in 5 years.
Well, I mean, in the point that I was listening to analysis of it was that it's a lot of these Hispanic districts in South Texas that went for Donald Trump may not do that without him on the ballot.
Exactly.
And that's the problem there. So they're saying they may go back Democrat. And so this could actually hurt.
Oh, you should have seen Arthur Kane on social media last week. He was saying the Trump administration is behind this. I'm like, yeah, Arthur, I'm sure you had a problem with California and New York and Illinois. And I'm sure you had a problem when the Hinds County Board of Supervisors did it back in 2010. Okay. I'm sure give me a break.
Yeah. That's the thing about
race baiters are race baiters.
Well, the thing about our politics, when you're not willing to call out your own side, to me, that's a problem. We all do this. Everybody's trying to win. This is not like nobody's virtuous in this game. Like they'll never be. So anyway, but the question I was going to try to get to about that was, so there's 22 counties in the Central District of Mississippi that makes up that Supreme Court district where the black justices have only been elected from. How do you change? Because that's primarily the Delta is a huge part. Hinds County.
That's what they'll probably have to do is go up in the Delta. But let's be honest.
But they are in the Delta already. They got a ton of the Delta counties.
Yeah, but they can expand that some.
Because they got right now, like Washington County, Bolivar County's in there. I mean, you got Sunflower, Sharkey. It's a lot of Delta County. And then you go to going east.
Yeah, but you don't have Humphreys in there right now. You don't.
No, it is. Humphreys is in that. Humphreys is in that district. I think Yazoo, Humphreys, they're all in that district.
Bolivar's in it?
Yep. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know, where do you go to grab more?
Coahoma?
Coahoma? No, I don't think. No, it's not.
Tallahatchie
is not in that district. You could go grab there. You could grab black votes there.
You can go southwest also.
Yeah, you could.
You can go down in the Natchez area, Claiborne, Jefferson County. I mean, there's areas my point is there's areas they can go. But let's be honest, this case is going to be appealed. This is going to definitely go into the Fifth Circuit.
Yeah.
And whoever loses will probably appeal to the Supreme Court. Maybe they'll take it. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I'd say 50-50.
Yeah, it is going to be. Yeah, I think it's 50-50 on it. I think they probably will not take it, but we'll see how it plays out. It could be 50-50. Anyway, we're going to move along. What did you want to talk about? Something else?
Oh yeah, you want okay. This is how you get HB 1020, guys. Okay, for our liberals or Democrats out there, this is how you get 1020. All right. Now, if you noticed, we had a Canton Mart Cadence, former Bank Corp South, Bank of Mississippi Bank branch there, was robbed last week. Armed robbery.
Yep, saw it.
And Capitol Police got their man this week. His name is Shanta Lakeith Richmond. Richmond is as in the Confederate capital. Now I call him Cro-Magnon, man, because when you see his mugshot, the way his skull's shaped, yeah,
that's what you're calling.
Here, I'll show you. Take a look.
Oh yeah, I see that. That's it. Okay,
that's what you would call a bulbous head, right?
If y'all want to see it, go to JacksonJambalaya.com.
It goes up at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it goes at 1 o'clock.
So they arrested him for that, but then you find out this guy is not just a star pupil of the catch and release program in Hinds County. He's like a valedictorian.
Oh God, what did he?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. Hinds County grand jury indicts him in 2024 for a fourth offense DUI back in 2023. However, not just that, fourth offense. Grand jury indicted him in November 2024, last fall, for aggravated DUI after he allegedly killed someone while driving drunk in 2022.
He likes to drink.
Yeah. BAC level was 0.201. Whew.
I don't know.
All
it's been a while since I've been there, Kingfish, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And he's also got I forgot to include this one. A manslaughter indictment in there too somewhere.
Oh, for good measure.
Yeah. I think that's the one. The aggravated DUI is separate.
Okay.
So anyway, all right. So you see that cases assigned to Judge Wooten. They're pending. Oh boy. You ready for this?
Yep.
Back in 2003, he pleaded guilty in federal district court. Federal. That's why the media didn't pick it up, because they didn't think to go look in Pacer.
You did. Right?
Armed carjacking.
Yeah.
And armed bank robbery in 2003 in federal court. He pleads guilty to that. He got released from prison in 2017. So this guy is a serial in armed robbery, and then he's a fourth offense DUI. Okay. Yeah. So
model citizen.
Yeah. I mean, and so the CCID court judge finally put $1 million bond on his butt, so he won't be going anywhere for a while. But damn, why was this guy even on the street? I mean, you serve 17 years for armed robbery and armed carjacking, then you turn right around and you get multiple DUIs. You kill somebody driving drunk, and okay, they let you out then, and then you go. Thankfully, nobody was killed or hurt during the robbery. Thankfully.
Jeez, and so he's out.
Had the hell scared out of him, but hey.
Are these cases in the ones that are the state cases? Are they in Hinds County?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
oh yeah.
County. What judge did you look that up?
Wooten. Yeah, I told you Wooten.
Oh, Wooten report. Okay, is that all the cases that he's had are in Wooten's case, or
Hinds County ones are all assigned to Wooten? Yeah.
Are they older than her term, or like have they been pending for a long time?
Well, I mean, he was indicted in 23 and 24.
23, 24. Okay, yeah. She's been there 10. Okay, yeah.
No, when you look at the actual docket, they're not moving abnormally slow or anything like that. I mean, they're where they probably should be right now. I mean, but the point is, though, he keeps on doing this stuff. Nobody locks the guy up. The guy is a. I mean, what's that section of the Constitution y'all like to cite? 27, 29?
Article 3, Section 29.
Yeah, Section 29. This guy is actually a danger to society.
Well, I mean, that's part of it, and part of it is like a lot of these guys are out on bond already for another felony charge, and if you are arrested for another charge that carries more than 5 years on Article 3, then you're not bondable anymore. You get your first bond revoked.
Yeah.
So sometimes that you have to file a motion for that to happen.
Right.
A lot of times that doesn't happen. So that's where I see you post this on your website a lot about somebody's out on bond, they commit a crime, and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, but this is pretty egregious, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, you want to know how you get 1020? This is how you get 1020. It's crap like this.
Yeah. That's I mean, but obviously, I mean, with 1020 though.
But Kamikaze likes to say on the racist white blog. I mean, I'm sorry that I'm pointing this stuff out. I mean, so.
Well, I mean, 1020 is great, and I think it's been wonderful, especially for my neighborhood in Bellhaven. Capitol Police have just been like a godsend to us. But I don't know that it's really assisted with I don't know maybe the Capitol Police Court's doing something. I don't know exactly all the data on that, but it's all misdemeanors over there, initial appearances, right? So it's not really making a dent.
If you need to get a warrant, a search warrant, arrest warrant,
and that helps for sure. But they're not taking on felony cases. Obviously, they can't do that. They have to be elected circuit judges to do that.
No, they can do it. They can probably do initials.
We need more circuit judges, Kingfish.
We need one more.
I'd say about 3 would be appropriate, and that would.
No, we need some that will just do their job.
That's hard in any profession.
I mean, yeah, but we've got 4. Okay. I mean, and I would say 1.5 actually do their job. Okay. Actually, I'd say 1 does her job. Okay.
Yeah.
One of them, he just kind of does it when he feels like, he's not totally, whatever you want to call it, but he's not the most vigorous judge either. Okay. And then there's two others. I mean, well, you've seen my stories about their dockets. I mean, they just don't move them.
Right.
They just don't move them.
I understand.
In fact, one of them has to have 2 special circuit judges appointed by the Supreme Court to help her move her docket along.
No, I understand.
When have you heard of that one?
Not a lot. I know
You haven't.
There's been instances of special judges helping
not to
out.
Specifically help one judge out who was brand new.
I mean, historically, they would like Judge.
I mean, you don't like Wheel, but at least when he got in there, he didn't go. He moved. He got to work on his docket.
And Judge Hilburn was there to help out back in my day over there.
True.
A lot. He did a lot. So anyway, but I'll get back to that on the next segment here with myself, Sean Yurtkuran, and Kingfish on the Lindsay Beckham Show. See you right now.